If your goal is to get the truth without turning your home into a courtroom or your voice into a weapon, you must understand one basic reality. People rarely tell the raw, painful truth when they feel attacked. Honesty grows in calm soil, not under heat lamps of accusation. So the strategy isn't clever interrogation or dramatic confrontations. It's composed presence, clear boundaries, and a structure that removes shame as the cheapest defense. Start by preparing yourself mentally. Your aim is clarity and protection of your dignity, not theatrical exposure. Breathe, ground, and commit to a single rule. No yelling, no threats, no chasing. That internal rule is your most powerful tool because it signals to her and to yourself that you are serious about truth, but not about emotional collapse. Walk into the conversation from a place of fact awareness rather than furious assumption. You don't need to present every alleged piece of evidence like a prosecutor. You need to show a pattern of observation. Use neutral language that reports reality. I've noticed that your phone is often locked, you've been less present at night, and you've created distance between us. I need to understand what's changed. The phrasing matters. Notice, observe, need, because it avoids immediate blame and invites explanation. When she hears you saying what you've seen rather than what you feel she must have done, her defenses are less likely to armor instantly. Match your tone to your words. Steady, calm, low, so your physiology doesn't betray your intention. If you are shaking with anger, wait. Go for a walk, drink water, or sit quietly until your voice can remain even. Women who have been unfaithful often react to fury by either stonewalling or shaming. Calmness removes those reflexes. Next, choose the right setting and the right moment. Don't ambush at dinner or in front of children. Privacy is essential. Public pressure will make her lie to protect image, and presence of others will escalate drama. A neutral, private place where both of you can sit without immediate interruption is best. Begin with a single clearing statement that gives her a safe out. This is crucial. Say something like, "I want to know the truth so we can make a choice. I am not asking to punish you right now, I'm asking to understand." That line grants her permission to speak without the immediate fear that truth equals instant punishment. Follow it with a short request for honesty and a clear description of the consequence structure you've already decided on calmly. For example, "If you tell me what happened and are willing to be transparent, we will consider counseling and set boundaries together. If you continue to hide it, I will protect my peace and take necessary steps to secure our home and emotional safety." Having consequences prepared and voiced calmly gives her an option that is dignity-preserving, truth plus repair, or secrecy plus predictable boundary enforcement. Importantly, state consequences as your right to protect yourself, not as emotional blackmail. Avoid conditional ultimatums that sound like threats and instead communicate self-protection measures you will take. Ask concise, open-ended questions that make denial harder and truth easier to offer. Instead of, "Did you cheat?" a question that invites reflexive denial. Ask, "Is there someone else you've been seeing or connecting with in a way that crosses our boundaries?" Or, "Have you been emotionally or physically involved with someone outside our marriage?" These questions require more than yes-no reflexes and give her the space to describe the situation on her terms. When she answers, listen more than you speak. Real confession often emerges in the pauses between words. Avoid interrupting, avoid hostile follow-ups, and avoid detective-style barrage that forces retreat. If she tries to dodge, bring the focus back to your observed facts calmly. "When you said you needed space, you began going out in the evenings every other week, and your messages stopped being readable. I'm asking for a truthful account because I deserve to know." You are not begging for love. You are exercising the right to know what is happening in a relationship that affects you. Use reflective statements to show you are trying to understand without accusing. Phrases like, "So what I hear you saying is," or "Help me understand what led you to feel this way," lower her shame and allow explanation to emerge. Women often conceal affairs because their shame is enormous. When someone acknowledges and holds part of that shame softly, rather than throwing it back as an accusation, the person is more likely to drop the lie. Do not interpret this as excusing her behavior. Understanding is not permission. Your goal is truth so you can choose. If she confesses, maintain composure. Sudden eruptive reactions commonly shut down complete honesty. Say, "I hear you, thank you for telling me, I need a moment." Then pause, breathe, and continue with the next step you have planned. That measured response prevents a partial confession becoming a retractable lie in the heat of an argument. If she refuses to talk or stonewalls, use a tactical silence rather than aggression. People who hide things need the lie to be sustainable through the other's emotional behavior. Silence undermines that sustainability. Say, "I asked for truth. If you don't want to share now, I understand, but I cannot sit with uncertainty. I'm going to take steps to protect my life and clarity." Then follow through calmly, reduce shared intimacy, separate finances if necessary, and limit access to information you do not wish to see without consent. These actions are not punitive theatrics. They are protective boundaries that communicate that secrecy has cost. Often the knowledge that the relationship will change unless honesty occurs prompts disclosure. But be careful. You are not to punish by humiliation or control. You are to protect your dignity and safety. Bring in a third party when personal dynamics make truthful disclosure impossible. This can be a trusted counselor, a mutual pastor, or a neutral mediator. The presence of a professional shifts the scene from accusation to resolution seeking and gives both parties a frame for confession and repair that is structured and witnessed. Say, "I think we need neutral help to get clarity. I will schedule a session with a couples therapist. If you want to be honest, that is the space to do it." Therapists are trained to facilitate truth-telling without rage. They can ask calibrated questions, hold consequences, and create the safety necessary for painful admissions. If she resists therapy, point out that honesty in therapy can preserve dignity. She can be heard without being attacked. And that refusing therapy after repeated requests is itself informative. Be careful about what you demand to see as proof. Demanding password access, reading private messages, or covertly recording conversations can cross legal and ethical lines depending on where you live, and it will also escalate defensiveness. Instead, ask for voluntary transparency. Invite her to open her devices in front of you if she's willing, or propose mutual accountability steps such as joint passwords or logs, but only if both consent. If she refuses transparency and you still suspect, consider lawful routes, a professional investigator, counsel, or legal advice about asset and custody protection. Do not become the person who violates laws or privacy norms in the name of truth. That behavior damages your moral position and can complicate any repair process. Protect your physical safety and emotional stability at all times. If emotions escalate or you fear abuse or volatile behavior, remove yourself temporarily and contact support networks or authorities as needed. The objective is truth without violence. Never prioritize confession over your safety. If children are involved, consider temporarily separating them while you seek clear answers and professional guidance. This is not abandonment. This is preservation of a stable environment while facts are clarified. Document behaviors and important dates privately in a journal. Concrete notes will help you later in counseling or legal settings without turning you into a relentless interrogator. When truth comes out, respond with a plan rather than just pain. Shouting at a confession crushes the possibility of repair. Measured responses preserve your agency. If you are willing to try to repair, outline boundaries, expectations, and professional help. Demand transparency, specify what you need to feel safe, like access to counseling, limits on contact, and clear steps for rebuilding trust, and define a timeline for checking progress. If you decide that repair is not possible, state that calmly too, and move toward a separation plan that protects finances, housing, and children. Either path, repair or separation, requires clear rules. Make them known in calm, unemotional language. If we are going to try to rebuild, these are the steps I expect and the timeline I need. If you are not willing, I will proceed with these other protective actions. That structure gives her an opportunity to choose without the conversation dissolving into emotional theatrics. Avoid public shaming or weaponizing the confession. Telling everyone immediately may feel empowering in anger, but it closes the door to controlled, thoughtful outcomes and often escalates conflict. Use confidentiality to preserve options. Talk to professionals. Close family as necessary for logistic support, but keep the core decisions out of social tribalism until you have clarity. Shame drives people into deeper hiding or revenge behavior. You are better served by dignity and precision. Finally, understand that truth-telling is a process, not a single moment. She may not reveal everything in one sitting. She may need multiple conversations to unpack the full truth. And each time you must decide whether to meet the next layer with calm curiosity or with punitive reactivity. Truth is often messy, layered, and painful. Meet it with the kind of strength that says you will not be manipulated, but that you are open to clear honesty and repair when it is sincere. Remember that your objective is not simply to extract a confession for the sake of triumph. Your objective is to reclaim clarity, protect your life, and choose a path forward that honors your worth. When you maintain a calm voice, clear boundaries, and predictable consequences, you create a psychologically safer environment for her to be honest. And when truth is told in that space, it will be more complete, more useful, and far less destructive than anything that erupts from yelling and chaos.